I'm making this video because you are coming in a campaign that has already started. There are some things that are just going to be easier if we explain now. So let's jump into previously on Chaos Table. Our 5 adventurers met in a coastal town named Soggyberry. We have Barnabus, the paladin sworn to redemption, Gul'galil, a disgraced executioner with a flower crown, a shape-shifting druid named Petal, and 2 now fallen companions, Pink Eye the goblin and Turok the dwarf. They met and immediately a house fire broke out, leaving behind an orphan named Tamarind. Tamarind is a little fawn boy about 7 years old who is, well, we'll get to more on him later. They found that the fire was arson set by some ruffians who left town. They caught up to them and were all defeated. And at that point, a mysterious man with a delightful little mustache approached them, and that's where we faded to black for episode 2. Session 2, they awoke in a mysterious hut, alive except for Pink Eye and Turok, and he gave them a new chance, sent them back to where they were, and they made their way to Presswall, the neighboring town. While they were there, they found that religion is not very welcome here. An intellectual society has taken over. They met a half-elf named Felonius A. Wright, who instructed them on various things and what they should do. You could call him a wise old wizard. And he told them about a powerful evil creature being summoned by a cult and how Tamarind was important in stopping him. While they were there, Star the singer was murdered, and clues pointed to a particular secret society known as the G. They found, as they were investigating, that the constable in charge of the investigation was killed, and they were not able to find the murderer. Cut to session 3. As a riot erupts at the end of a festival in Presswell, we meet Mina and Chandrelle, the 2 new characters for the party. Mina is a half-elf rogue who likes to throw things and set things on fire, and Chandrelle is a high elf with red hair who carries the bagpipes. She is a bard. Rumors spread that the assassin known as the Second Son was responsible for the murder of Star, and they find out that Tamarind sleepwalks, and in his sleep gets up to some really significant mischief, like cattle rustling and then burning the cattle. Session 4, they go to Ebonview, further on eastward into the mainland, and find a town that is in a constant depression, constant overcast. They make their way to a college known for cranking out doctors, and they find their way into the catacombs beneath it, where there's a lot of necromantic activity going on. It's really bad. They get into a lecture room and find a ritual going on to raise the dead. They stop it, but in the process of that, Gul'galil is struck down. He is left unconscious for the next session, and Tamarind sleepwalks again, but in the day this time. Session 5. Gul'galil is still unconscious. They don't know what's wrong, but he's still not going to wake up. This is because Andy, the player, was unavailable for that session. So they go onto the road, taking him in, Barnabus was carrying him for a while, and then they meet a traveling salesman named Boris. He's a half-elf who is very jaunty and colorful, but a shrewd businessman, and all of his wares can be sold for half price or less if there's a deal. Deals come with catches. As they go to sleep, Tamarind sleepwalks again, and they find that there is his sister who died at birth, who is kind of catching a ride in his psyche, if you will. And her name is Juniper, and she takes over at night sometimes. Which brings us to session 6, where people from the town of Ebonview, who did not like Barnabus because they had this sense that he was possibly a warforged, they come after him. They fight them. So that's the story thus far. We would love for you to join us for episode 1, session 7. We'll just call it episode 1, as it comes out soon. See you at the table.